Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
I want to tell you a tale of how I was duped into spending $34.99 on the Steam store.
Tell me who got your dumb ass.
My dumbass was gotten by our mutual friend Kyle, who told me about a game that had lots of things that I like.
Yeah, what are those things? Check them off.
Vampires.
Yep.
Isometric, top-down kind of combat.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
Diablo-esque.
I'm just Vince McMahon facing, pretending to be you right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Interesting mechanics where you can like suck the blood of different types of humans and animals.
Yeah, dude. Vampires love doing that shit.
And create your own blood type, which would then influence your stats.
Okay.
That sounds interesting,
It's
right?
going off the rails a little bit with vampire lore, but okay.
Yeah. Hunting in the woods for humans.
Yeah, hunting. You do it all the time
Yeah.
here in Kentucky.
Yeah. And overall, a really cool mechanical system and a progression system not based on just beating things up, but on beating certain bosses. So you beat a boss and you are able to level up. You can't just grind for XP.
Okay.
And the game is called V Rising. It's a recent game that came out not that long ago.
Does V stand for vampire?
The V stands for vampire.
All right, cool.
Not vendetta. However, our friend Kyle did not tell me that V Rising was a survival game, like Ark Survival Evolved.
He loves those. He loves
yeah.
his tree punching crafting games.
Yeah. And so I had a fun time hunting wolves or whatever the quests I was supposed to do early on. Did not like how I had to log into a server to do all this stuff. I thought I could just play the game, instead of finding a server. Then I was told that I had to go build my castle. And so I took all my wood and my rocks back to a place that I found, and I sat down my vampire land reclamation statue or whatever, and then reclaimed my land, and then started putting flooring and walling up while I was just, being a vampire and whatnot. Then the fucking sun came out, and I started to melt in the sun. And I'm like, well, how can I'm supposed to build and the sun's up? I just gotta wait till the sun goes down. Turns out you can build like a brazier that can like block the sunlight, but then I can't walk too far. Then I gotta build a lumber mill and put like the blocks.
Hey, fuckface, 1 second. How long did you play this game?
I played it for 2 hours.
Is that below the return threshold?
Yes. Thank you, Steam, for your great customer service. I used the refund policy to refund V Rising, a well-made game. I'm not shitting on the game, but not for me at all. I like building and I like all those other things, but I like to do those things separately.
Yeah. Do you have a Polaroid camera? We can get you one. Take a picture of our friend Kyle with it, and then on the back, write, "Don't believe his lies," and put that behind your computer.
Hot sounds.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic Japanese role-playing games, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back to the 6th season of Retrograde Amnesia. We are covering Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions for the PlayStation Portable. My name is Chris, and I'm joined today by Eric. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, nice to see you again. We are back for more tactical adventures. We are also joined by the Real Net, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion, who's been grinding out metals to get the metal Sonic skin in Sonic Superstars.
Initializing Fake Net.
If I were to inhabit the body of Christ, it would be through Metal Sonic.
Oh, that's terrible. She did all of that, and the skin can only be used in multiplayer.
Is this a story that you are personally experiencing, and then you attach it to the Fake Net to hide your shame?
No, I never do that with Fake Net intros. That has never happened to me before.
It's never happened to you
You've
before.
not just solved the riddle of the Fake Net.
Wow. Sure is interesting. Hope the Fake Net has a nice time with those Sonic the Hedgehog skins.
Superstars, please.
I have the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book issue number 69 if you would like it.
Is that for mature audiences only?
No, it's just...
Then I don't care about it?
It's the 69th.
Let's move on, Chris. I'm talking about your weird 69 Sonic shit.
Hello.
Where do you want to go next?
Well, we just got done killing the pervert, or Quecklin.
Slaying the pervert.
Oh, yeah, you don't kill perverts, you slay them.
Right.
Especially perverts of this kind of magnitude.
It's the mandate of heaven.
There's a lot of body mass in these perverts, so they must be slew.
What do you think that smells like? Baked beans and chili?
I think it probably smells like a
festering wasteland,
a festering dead bird that you find in your backyard.
Yeah, a bunch of those recently.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Big turkey bird.
My dog killed a bird recently.
Hell yeah. She eat it?
No, I think she was...
Did you eat it?
No, I shoveled it into the trash.
R.I.P., buddy. You can't flush those things.
No.
You know what else doesn't have a toilet is Zeltennia Castle Keep.
Nope.
What do you got that? Is that Zeltennia for you, bud?
It's Zeltennia.
Music. Holy Angelus theme, parentheses, Saint Ajora, in parentheses, please.
Yeah, I think we should just call it Saint Ajora's theme.
You said it, not me.
Okay.
I'm going to read my notes.
Okay.
Delita walks into a meeting and takes a knee.
Yeah, there's like some popes or something in here.
Some popes.
The only one that I know for sure, like just based on my previous experience with the game, is that I know that Goltana is one of these guys.
Yeah, there's 4 people we don't recognize with Goltana commanding the room. You're about to say?
Oh, I was just going to say Goltana is the one I recognize from the days of yore.
Mm-hmm. 5 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
As Delita kneels...
No, we haven't seen Goltana yet, have we?
I don't know.
I don't think we've seen...
Is Larg the same as Goltana?
No, they're different. They're
different guys?
They're one...
They don't just want the exact same thing from 2 opposing sides? Are you serious?
Well, I mean, technically, if you want to talk about it, yes, they are kind of the same guy, but in terms of what they look like, Larg is the bowl cutman, and Goltana is more, let's say, well-mannered. You get big mustache, long gray hair, stocky man.
Never trust a bowl cut. As Delita kneels, it's the Duke who speaks first. My advisors tell me you are the one who rescued Princess Avelia. I would have you tell me more. And Delita does exactly that. He refreshes it for the audience, Chris.
Good.
I am Delita Heral, a Black Ram lieutenant in the service of His Excellency the Baron Grimms.
Oh, you mean a Black Sheep Knight?
Black Ram sounds way cooler than Black Sheep Knight.
Yeah, we heard about
Black Sheep is a little bit too on the fucking nose, too.
Yeah, we heard about the Black Sheep Knight in like one of the bar lore things a couple of episodes ago.
His Excellency dispatched me to rescue the princess, and so I did, disguised as one of your own, a sheep in lion's clothing. See, now the metaphor is broken. He says sheep and not ram.
Oh, God.
Chris, who the fuck is Baron Grimms? Do we know that guy?
I think he was the one that was killed by the Ryo Moku.
Ryo from Suikoden? And Mokujin from Tekken?
Mokujin.
Yes.
Okay.
It was something that we read about in the lore.
Like, I forgot about that. I genuinely thought Delita was making stuff up and just bullshitting his way through this.
I mean, that stuff is probably true, but in terms of like how Delita has operated since the death of Tietra, he is making things up and bullshitting his way through this
Across the
entire thing.
land. Good point. The old man on the left speaks next. He is Chancellor Glevan. He says, Hariel, you say, that is a name I've not heard before. And oh no, Chris, I can feel another class incident brooding away.
Mm-hmm.
Goltana is also alarmed at Delita's origin story. I thought Baron Grimms and his Black Rams felled in battle against the Eye of a Fortnight Past.
The Eye of a Fortnight Past?
They felled against the Eye, capital E-I, of a Fortnight Past.
Okay, the Eye is the Ryo.
Is.
The Eye is the Ryo Moku in mine. So it must be one that they Romanized instead of localized. Always localized, never Romanize.com.
Delita spins it nicely. He says, indeed, that dark news spurred me to return with all the greater haste. Goltana finally inquires about the princess, and the other guy on the left, the dude in blue with the bronze popat, he answers. This guy is Bishop Cain Breruch.
Mine's Camberbriff.
Can be rich.
And he tells the gang, she is weary from her long journey. She sleeps as if among the dead. Now the guy on the top right speaks. He's blue with a brown cloak. His name is Count Sidolphus Orlandeau.
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 Does yours have a U at the end or an O?
E-A-U. How do you say that, Frenchman?
O.
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 Création de faux filets. It is pronounced Orlandeau. Sidolphus Orlandeau.
It's Orlandeau in mine.
Orlandeau.
Orlando.
Orlandeau.
Orlando. Orlando.
Anyway, I also recognize this character. He's famous.
Well, he's a fucking Sid.
Yeah.
Remember you called him syphilis in the last episode.
Sidolphus.
He asks, is it not true you brought a prisoner? Delita hellies that and demands that the prisoner enter. A man in red with his hands bound behind his back is escorted inside by a Southern Sky Knight. The prisoner approaches the group and falls to his knees. Delita addresses him and he says, let us hear the reason for your attempt on the princess. Chris, I have no idea who is playing what game. I've lost who works for who, and I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. I'm lost in the sauce, and I don't know what's a work and what's a shoot. This is neat. Is that the point?
I think it is the point. It really is the point because Matsuno likes to play with this kind of stuff, and it is difficult to tell what will be immediately relevant to the plot versus what is just posturing
Politicking horseshit.
Politicking horseshit for the sake of world building and suspense.
And what he also said about being the new guy at Square, this also, I can picture him walking into a board meeting and have no idea who is what, who pulls rank, whatever. He just knows that one guy, Sakaguchi, and who the fuck are these other guys?
I have two very distinct images of Square. Squaresoft, Square Enix, whatever you want to call them now.
Squaresoft, please.
Squaresoft is a bunch of guys. There were some women that worked there, but mostly a bunch of Japanese men who are in a musty cubicle office.
Nerds fucking around.
All smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And making video games and shit. Like, 25 people. And the Square Enix of today, where it is 17 guys in like really nice suits sitting around a board meeting saying, "The Legend of Mana did not make enough money for us," and then just knocking a chess piece over, and
they're all just pointing to charts and knocking over chess pieces.
Like that's why good games don't come out of Square anymore unless they spend $17 bazillion on them. So
possible. The prisoner speaks. "'Twas to stain Duke Goltana's name and keep him from Lassalia. We thought to deny him the regent's seat." Delita asks who gave that order and wonders if it was Duke Larg. The prisoner responds, "No, a close advisor of Duke Goltana seeking to curry Duke Larg's favor."
I mean, Minister Gelwan, he kind of like nestles in his seat or steps forward a little bit, and he's immediately the one to start calling bullshit on this one.
Yeah, he starts to rush forward, madly declaring, "None among us would fain betray our Duke. Silence this man. He knows not of what he speaks."
Kill this guy now.
Yeah, my immediate thought is this fucking guy.
Yeah.
This guy's fucked.
He's panicking already.
Goltana tells Glavan to fuck that shit. Quote, "I would hear it nonetheless." Delita asks who it was, this person, and the prisoner spits the dots. Delita then demands, "Name the one who gave the order." The prisoner, though, begs for protection, and Delita tells him he'll have it on his honor as a knight. Quick question, does Delita still have honor as a knight? As far as this guy knows?
I think Delita has a fake ID for an honorable knight.
Okay, perfect. Excellent analogy. Finally, the prisoner confesses. "'Twas the man who stands before me, Chancellor Glavan." Glavan rushes forward, getting in the prisoner's face. He can't believe this shit. "What? How dare you? I do not even know you. Knave."
Knave.
But Delita no-sells that and continues his inquiry. I think directing his questions now at Glavan. "Who put you to it? The Queen? Who's the Queen? Do we know the Queen?"
Orienthal? I don't know.
All right.
I think there is a Queen.
The Larg Queen side?
Was it I think the Queen was the one that was going insane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just like me in this game.
Yeah.
Glavan continues to profess innocence. "Stop this mummer's farce. I've naught to do with this."
Mummer's Farce.
Where's the first time you heard Mummer's Farce, Chris?
The hit TV show Mummer's Farce?
That's right, written by George Railroad Martin himself. Delita now aims to exact justice. "To betray your liege lord is an unpardonable crime, Chancellor." And I wrote down, "Oh fuck, he's going to do it now." Delita draws his sword. The prisoner and the Bishop Kainbaru start to back away. Glavan remains where he stands. He pleads, "It was not I know not of it." Delita then gets into the fighting pose with his sword and look over to the side as Orlandeau also puts his hand on his own sword.
I love that touch.
Yeah.
He's like, you can tell just by this one frame of animation from him switching the sprite to that position that this guy knows when some shit is about to go down.
Yeah, he's seen this play before.
Yeah.
Delita dashes forward and slashes Glavan at the neck. The man death cries and falls, and Delita's sword appears to have red pixels on its tip.
Cool.
Chris, can Delita do that? Was that kind of some prove yourself, take initiative power play that CEOs like? Well, this crowd, this council of guys respect Delita now.
I think he's shocking them into respecting him.
Yeah.
Because when a guy does some shit in a room and you have nothing, you can do nothing else but just marvel at it. And you can't be like, you shouldn't do that. All you can do is marvel.
You look at it. Yeah. You become bystander instantly, except for Sid.
I don't know if he did all this on purpose for that effect, but...
Well, that's my next question. It'd be funny if that prisoner was just some guy the rest of the council paid to do this so they could have a reason to remove Glavan from whatever kind of conspiracy this is.
Yeah.
With Delita acting as the executioner for plausible deniability. Delita returns his sword to his scabbard and Orlandeau performs the... Orlandeau? Fuck am I calling this guy?
You can call him Orlandeau.
And Orlandeau performs the same action at the exact same time. Like they put their swords back in sync. Delita then kneels and addresses Goltana. "Forgive me if I presume overmuch, your grace, but now is not the time for bandied words. The Order of the Southern Sky must march on Lassalia at once, and you with it. Give your enemies but a moment to collect themselves, and they will pin the Chancellor's sedition on his lord. Your grace must strike before they are given the chance, deny the prince's claim, and set the princess on the throne. I wish someone else would have said something, but they didn't. Fade to black.
They're leaving you wanting more, right?
Between screen music, Holy Angela's Theme Deluxe plays.
I have Santa Jorah's Theme Deluxe version, yes.
Chris, now we see a sepia-toned battlefield picture of a chocobo-mounted squad engaging in middle-age combat.
Yeah, I have that too. I thought maybe you were going to have a CG cutscene here, or
No.
animated cutscene.
No cutscene. Arazlam's words paint the screen. Following his sack of the royal capital of Lassalia, Duke Goltana banished Queen Luveria to Besselat for her hand in the conspiracy and crowned Princess Ovelia queen.
It's happened.
But Duke Larg, insisting that Prince Ornianus was the true and rightful heir, at once crowned the child prince and declared himself regent.
That's the 2-year-old child.
Yeah. Moving then to free the queen, Duke Larg dispatched the Order of the Northern Sky to Besselat in the name of the new crowned king. Duke Goltana, in turn, set the Southern Sky Knights to march in Ovelia's name. The curtain had risen on what history would one day record as the War of the Lions. So, are we out of the prologue now?
Well, this game was not subtitled The War of the Lions until later, right?
Okay.
But yeah, The War of the Lions is actually started
We're
now.
doing it. We're in
Yes.
it.
Everything else was just kind of some
Aimless murder, bands of heroes.
some precursory Games of Thrones.
Let's go to Fort Besselat.
Save game.
Music Dice Dark's theme plays.
Oh, you mean Bethel Garrison, right?
Fort Besselat.
Okay. This is where a council is happening around a large rectangular table, right?
Another council.
Another council of fucked up guys, I guess.
We open within a stone wall. Daylight shines in from nearby windows. 5 people are seated at a long table. It's Duke Goltana at the head, along with Count Orlandeau. We know both of them.
Yes, we can also recognize Marquise Elmdor.
Yes, de Limberry. Joining him is the Baron of Bolimia.
Bolmna.
Joining him is the Baron of Bolimina
The Baron of Bolamina.
and the Viscount Blanche. Chris, what does Viscount say to you?
Viscount is usually somebody...
Vampire Count?
wasn't the guy who was sitting on the throne of Gondor a Viscount?
It's been a long time since I've seen those feature films.
I don't think it was, actually. Anyway, a Viscount sounds like more adjacent to a Chancellor.
To fake now, what's a Viscount?
Yeah, good question.
Initializing fakenet.
A Viscount is a British nobleman ranking above a Baron and below an Earl.
So some fucked up guys from the previous council and some new faces, and I love double council scene.
Oh yeah, you gotta love it.
The Baron of Bolimina, who I guess isn't dead, speaks first. This past eventfall, the count stood at 20,040 if both sides be counted. Alone, we've sustained 200,000 wounded as well.
That's a lot of guys moving around on a lot of maps.
A whole bunch of people, you gotta feed all them. Limberry, who I think should feel lucky to be alive, adds, "The number of casualties does not concern me, nor does the depletion of our stores. These were to be expected. No, it is the drought that threatens us. The markets are empty, and tax collections fall short." So by drought, he means coin.
Yes, he also uses in the PlayStation version. He uses a term I like. He uses the term food stock.
Oh, food stock. "With prices as they are, we can lay in supplies for another half year at best." Blanche also piles on the economic nightmares induced by middle-age warfare. He says, "Duke Larg must surely face like difficulties. It rained unceasingly in Gaillon this season. The grain rotted in the fields before it could be harvested." Now, Chris, it's Orlando's turn to measure this fucked shit.
Mm-hmm.
The real trouble lies in war's wake. There is no work. Whole villages have been displaced. Orrin tells me over 100,000 have already fled to Lassalia, and more pour in by the day.
Orrin, you mean Olan?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So all these numbers that are being kicked around, there are a lot of people, but do we have any population numbers and lore or rumors or any of that stuff?
I don't think so, but you would think that, what is the soldier population ratio to...
Is this like World War II Russia where they're killing a third of the entire population?
Yeah, maybe. I would imagine that kind of stuff happened in sort of the medieval warfare, right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know a thing about medieval warfare. I do appreciate this stuff is getting mentioned, even if it will never be mentioned again. Like they're actually talking about stuff that affects the proletariat.
Mm-hmm.
Next, it's Blanche who outs himself as a sadist. "Ha, I see no trouble in this. Let Larg struggle to feed the mewling maids and his soldiers both."
Mewling maids.
How do we feel about mewling maids?
I really like mewling maids. Is it an insult if he's just talking about the pores?
Mewling just means like meowing. So crying poor people, is that an insult?
It would be an insult if he called somebody that, but he's just talking about an entire group of people.
He's making generalities. I see what you mean. Okay.
I mean, if he would have used maybe a more explicit slur against an entire subset of people, maybe we would call it an insult, but I don't think it's...
Mewling Maids isn't going to cut it right.
If he calls Goltana a Mewling Maid, then that would be different.
Orlandeau establishes his character as the voice of reason. It is no laughing matter. Should the conflict spread, we may find ourselves no better off. Think you Zeltennia proof against such fate? I assure you we are not. Has not the time come to chart a course to peace? He wants peace, Chris.
Yes. He sees the writing on the wall here.
Goltana looks to split the difference between fear and joy with a political solution. Your fears are well-founded, but we cannot yet end this war. We shall treble the rate of tax and keep a close watch on those who hope to profiteer in these trying times. As for those seeking refuge outside the castle walls, we shall tighten our patrols at the Limberry border to see they are turned back. Chris, does anybody here know about the fucking magic rocks? How long before those things are the solution to everyone's problems?
My guess is that nobody here knows about the magic rocks. This is just a guess, but I think the only people that are explicitly aware of them are the higher-ups of the church. Mm-hmm.
Also, LOL, close the borders is the solution.
Yes, absolutely. Always.
Orlandeau the pacifist offers additional solutions. Duke Larg suffers, as do we. What better time to treat to peace? So that's 2 peace questions in a row. Goltana assures Orlandeau that his lust for blood cannot be satisfied just yet. Says, you talk in circles, Orlandeau. There can be no peaceful end to this. Chris, is that true?
I think that there probably could be a peaceful solution here, but I do believe that the aspirations of both Larg and Goltana are at odds, and that collision course cannot be stopped. The lions must war.
Of course, we're already in the title has been declared. Orlandeau punches back with facts and logic. The kingdom cannot exist without her people, Excellency. No more than can we. In the 50 Years' War, who bore a greater burden than they? Would you thank them now with higher taxes? And it is not only the people. Our soldiers are made to fight on rations that would scarce feed a child at his mother's skirts. We cannot long sustain this war. It is a matter of resources and resolve.
I think Orlandeau's presence here is the only thing that is prohibiting this council of being a council of fucked up guys.
That is my next note.
God damn it.
This guy is going to defect. He's too idealistic for this organization of psychos, this confederacy of shitheads, this council of fucked up guys.
Yes.
Chris, do you think Goltana accepts this informed demand for reason with a measured sense of compassion and consideration? Hell no, he says. Resolve, have you any? These are the words of a coward.
Yeah.
He, in our modern parlance, the response would have been, how about fuck you?
Yeah. In the PlayStation, he says, mentally, are you becoming a coward?
Mentally. That's I still respect your fighting skills. I know you still got it. Do not hit me. Undeterred, Orlandeau continues to develop logical conclusions of this mess. The 50 Years' War was fought to drive back an invasion of our sovereign soil. We were honor-bound to fight. Never mind, my new guess is Orlando's going to get himself killed right here at this table. Goltana then goes on an ideological rant. And in this war, you do not feel so bound. You were never one given to hypocrisy, Orlandeau. Show leniency now, and they will only strike the harder. The fight is not only for ourselves, but for our people in equal measure. The crown cumbers them with every act. We fight to free them of such tyrannies. Chris, has Orlandeau, in the eyes of the Duke, gone woke?
Orlandeau has gone... I don't know if he's gone woke. I think he's more along the lines of a measured voice.
Yeah, but in the terms of everyone else's sight here, woke... I mean, woke is, as a measured voice is literally the fucking complaint most of the time, right?
Woke is just what someone doesn't like.
Yeah.
Woke is just what conservatives don't like. That's what it is.
It's a blanket for all that.
Yes.
Blanche the sycophant adds to Goltana's sentiment. His grace has the right of it. Besides, why lay down the sword with victory so near? Your title is ill-earned. Thunder God Cid.
In PlayStation version, they just say TG Cid.
TG Cid?
Yeah, but I like Thunder God Cid much, much better.
Yeah, your gentle words would soon stir a breeze. Sorry.
They're having a difficult time separating the man that is sitting in the chair next to them versus the legend of this man.
I was going to say, was he some kind of bloodthirsty warrior that just single-handedly won the war and formed a legend around himself? That's the reputation I'm getting here. It's the only reason he's fucking here.
Yes. But I think the reputation is mostly deserved, as we saw by him being ready for that potential deleted massacre before when he put his hand on the blade earlier.
Good point. He still he's still in the game a little bit. Nope. Unlike Gafgarion, who was like, fuck, don't make me lift the sword, man. Yeah. Come on, my back hurts. Orlandeau, Thunder God Cid hits back with some of that thunder. Is victory so near? My ears are deaf to its approach. What see you in our plight that portends victory, or have you forsworn the use of your eyes? Blanche stands up and prepares for a slap fight. He says, I will not sit here and tolerate such insults.
Your words are harsh.
Goltana ends this madness with a Vader-esque comment. Enough of this, you disappoint me, Orlandeau. Pray you do not disappoint me further. Blanche sits down. Orlandeau throws dots. Goltana speaks. I will say this but once. Any man who cares not for the course I've chosen had best remove himself now. I will brook no further doubt, Orlandeau. Chris, tensions are high.
Tensions are very high.
The screen turns sepia and we get a title card. What does yours say?
Chapter 3, The Valiant.
Hey, mine says that as well.
Oh, okay. So who will be the Valiant? Is it Thunder God Sid? Is it Ramza? Is it Delita? Who fucking knows? We'll find out soon. Maybe.
Yeah, I love that you're keeping up the bit of identifying the person in the title.
Yes.
We'll do it.
So anyway, do you get some narration now or what?
Yeah. Arazlam's back. No, I'm sorry. It's Ramza, not Arazlam.
Yes.
Delita once told me he was swimming against some unseen current. If this current rushes toward war, and the world with it, what hope did I have to fight it? I made for Lassalia to tell my lord brother someone dictated this war from the shadows, and to test my legs against the current.
I want to say what Ramza says out loud in mine because I think it could be funny. Delita told me that there is a big tide, and he goes against it.
Ah, dude, the big tide.
In this age of war, is the big tide like a fate we can't avoid? Can I go against it? I just think big tide's funny.
I cannot believe people stand up for the original localization. I know you fell in love with it. I know, believe me, if someone localized away the charm out of Xenogears, I would be upset. However, this sucks ass.
Yeah, it does suck ass. I think that you cannot put this next to, say, the original Chrono Trigger localization, or the original Final Fantasy VI localization.
World map?
World map.
Merled Wap.
Couple of things have happened in our world here. Do you know what one of those things are?
It's a new chapter.
There's a new chapter, and there's now a fur shop.
Oh, a fur shop.
Can you go to the fur shop?
Is that where can you skin? Is it like a poacher thing?
Yeah, play the poacher music. You can get a skill from the thief job, and that will allow, I don't remember what it's called, but that will allow you to slay monsters and get their furs and then sell them to the fur shop.
I don't think that's in my game because I got thief high enough to get ninja and then never became thief again. So why would I do that?
Only if you're looking for a new way to make money, Eric.
Oh,
yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Money's so stupid.
Money is dumb.
I have no one for coin.
So you could be a poacher. I did not do any poaching.
Have you done poaching before?
No, I've never done poaching because I think it goes in the same slot as gain JP up, and I need gain JP up.
Yeah, what am I going to do, not gain JP up?
Yeah, the only time I replace gain JP up is when I'm using a half MP or I'm using the equipped swords on my ninjas, so my ninja can dual wield swords. Anyway, as I typically do at the beginning of a chapter, I did a ton of grinding for new strategies and job classes.
Yes, if we're not really being clear here, we are just grinding the shit, or at least I'm grinding the shit between chapters, and I found out if I did this on accident, if I hold the R trigger button on my Xbox 360 controller, it fast forwards the video game.
Oh.
So I can just hit X in attack and just not even care which direction I'm facing, beat up stuff. It's going good.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
very
a fantastic
happy for
use
you.
of my free time.
So the first thing that I wanted to experiment with was I want to see what's up with the job class Dancer.
Oh.
Because I've never used Dancer before.
You know what that's called in mine? I don't think I have that.
I think it's
I
called...
haven't unlocked it yet, maybe.
The Dancer requirement is a level 4 Geomancer and a level 4 Dragoon. And level 5 for your game. And
I haven't fucked with Dragoons.
Yes, and of course, it must be a female unit.
Oh, that's all I got.
The male counterpart is a Bard. I have not tried Bards yet. Anyway...
I think you mean Orator.
No, an Orator is a mediator.
Damn it.
Sorry, Eric.
Say, I got one of those.
I completely maxed out the Dancer and I got all the dances. And so the interesting thing about the Dancer's dances is that you select them and the character immediately will start dancing on the fucking screen.
Hell yeah.
And then every certain number of turns, the dance will pop. So certain dances are faster, certain dances are slower. So you may dance twice before it comes back
Is it
around.
the same thing as like a black mage making the summoning motion before a magic spell?
It's different. It's the same animation as a confused character.
Well, I know, but I mean, mechanically, is it the same?
Yeah.
Where they're just charging up until they unleash their
Yes.
command.
Yes. So here's the names of the dances that you can do, Eric. You can do the dance called Witch Hunt, which attacks the enemy's MP. You can do Mincing Minuet, or in the PlayStation version, the Wisnabius,
Yeah, of course.
which is a HP damaging.
No, that's really hot on TikTok right now.
Yeah. You can do slow dance, which does what it says.
I'm good at that.
Polka or polka polka,
Hey, Weird Al's here.
which is pretty good. That will reduce their physical attack power, just like Weird Al does when he does his polkas.
Yeah, Polka Party, great album.
You can do Heathen Frolic
Ooh.
or Disillusion, which is an exotic dance that clouds the mind, reducing enemies' magical attack
Wait,
power.
which fucking one has Heathen Frolic? Is that War of the Lions?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. You could do Forbidden Dance or Nameless Dance, which is a mesmerizing dance that inflicts status effects.
Sex.
Yes.
Too sexy.
Too sexy.
Too sexy.
That is my favorite one because
Of course it is.
there is a 50% chance of every single enemy getting blinded, confused, silenced, toaded, poisoned, slowed, stopped, or sleeped.
So I am imagining the dance Selma Hayek does with the snake in From Dusk Till Dawn, because that is the most sexy, hypnotic dance I can possibly imagine.
Would you consider that dance to be forbidden?
I mean, it's only been done once, so probably.
Okay,
I mean, you see how that movie ended?
well then it works.
Jesus Christ.
The final dance is called the Last Waltz, or the Last Dance, which is called the Ultimate Dance, and it drops the enemy's CT to 0, making them have to reset the amount of time they have to wait before their next turn,
Awful.
which is pretty good. 34% chance of that happening. We'll talk more about how the dancer was implemented into my game, but I don't think it's the most efficient job class, but it is very fun. So, anyway.
It sounds like you're having a ball with it. This is the most we've talked about one single job class, and I'm honestly into it and a little bit upset that I haven't tried to find it for myself.
Well, it happens. So also, I maxed out Hornst's jump ability with his in the Dragoon class, and then I switched him to a Samurai, which I think we've talked about Samurai a little bit. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm trying to fall in love with the Samurai.
Right.
But I use jump as his secondary ability, and he can basically jump anywhere on the fucking map and stomp on anyone's head. Great.
Doesn't that take a long time?
No, not really.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Dragoons, it turns out, are useful.
Also working on making Selfie a mediator, which I think in your game is called an orator.
Yes, that I have.
Which I
Waste
think-
of time.
I think this is a very fun job class. I just haven't been able to find the fun yet.
Weird. Sounds like
So-
it's not fun then, Chris.
Because they have lots of talk abilities that do different things. For some reason, also, the mediator or the orator is one of the few job classes that can equip guns, which I don't know what that says about their ability to talk.
Well, you can threaten.
They point guns at people. The thing I found the funniest about the mediator is some of the skill descriptions in the PlayStation version in terms of how they were localized, so I'm going to read a couple of those. Praise. Word skill that raises brave level by complimenting the target and raising their confidence. Brave. Solution. Word skill used to lower faith by preaching about other secular theories.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
Other secular theories. Just
Yes.
hitting the Mormons at your front door with your
Yes.
other secular theories.
Yes. At gunpoint.
Yeah. Ugh.
Insult. Word skill used to upset the enemy with curses and abuse.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all for this. These are all tactics, like valid negotiating
Yes.
tactics so far.
And finally, Mimic Daravon.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I did that with the pizza guy.
Word skill used to put enemies asleep with boring stories.
Oh, so Grandpa's skill.
Grandpa attack, yeah. I find these to be funny. The one that I think
podcaster's folly.
is the most useful is Invitation, which it doesn't have a high chance of working, but it will just get that guy on your team.
Did you say imitation? So do you imagine the person just repeat?
Invitation.
Oh, I was like expecting imitation, like you're just repeating what they say and to be very annoying like a child.
That'd be funny. No, you can actually get monsters or enemy troops on your team permanently.
But pretend to be a monster in front of a monster.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go eat food in front of your dog food, and she'll be on my team.
I have one of those dyad, those woodman people. Have you seen the woodland creatures?
Mokujin.
Mokujins?
Mokujin.
I have one of those on my team now. Never used it in battle, but I have one.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen one of those.
I don't know.
I would kill. I'm not employing monsters. I'm sorry. That's very stupid. I don't know why you would want the evil undead on your team.
Chocobos are monsters.
No, they're not. They're a cohabilitating species.
Also, I don't like the Oracle class at all. I think in yours it's called Mystic.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. But I do like one of their skills is called Foxbird. In your game it's called Trepidation.
What does that do?
Subtracts 30 bravery from
Oh, yeah. A math class? No, get that shit out of here.
from the enemy. And the battle cry is, "Cowards! Weak! Those rushing to die! Foxbird!"
FakeNet, what's the significance of Foxbird?
Initializing FakeNet.
Nothing. This video game made that shit up. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird. I've heard of bird dogs, but not foxbirds.
No way. Foxes can't be birds. Well, there are flying foxes, right?
Flying squirrels. There could be flying foxes.
Am I making up flying foxes? I could be.
Do you want to ask the fake net?
Yeah, fake netter. They're flying foxes.
Initializing fake net.
Pterapus is a genus of megabats which are among the largest bats in the world. They are commonly known as fruit bats or flying foxes. There's also this flying fox.
So, have we talked about what happens at max faith?
No, who is Max Faith?
If you maximize somebody's faith to beyond 99.
95, actually.
Buff or permanently as far as their stats go?
Well, with one of these skills, like the one that Mediator has a skill that will increase one of your allies' faith.
No, what's that do?
Or bravery. If you remove their bravery down to 0, I guess,
Less than 10.
they become chicken-like and they run away. They will not fight. They just run away.
No brave. Must be brave to fight.
If you raise their faith too high, they will leave and go join the fucking church.
Oh, God.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's an amazing mechanic.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Like you've fully sold, they're all
Yes.
in, they're bought in, they're too powerful for this world, and now God is nerfing them.
Yes. I've got some rumors there at the bar, Eric. You want to read those?
Tell me about it. Let's do it. Play the bar music.
Future of the war. 3 months have passed since the Battle of Gulafava.
No.
Gulafavia.
All right.
The first all-out battle on a plain bordered by Lassalia and Limbury. The death toll for the two armies reached nearly 400,000. This battle between those that fought side by side during the war is only creating many casualties with no end in sight. Many see the situation as a stalemate, and its length has brought pessimism among the people.
You know what that's like? Where the people who fought side by side are now fighting each other.
Civil War.
It's the end of every beat 'em up. It's the end of Dynamite Cop. You beat up these guys together, and now you fight each other on top of a fucking boat.
Yeah, NES Double Dragon does that too, doesn't it?
Oh, all the good ones do that. I haven't beat Battletoads, but I bet that does it.
Or not NES Double Dragon 2. Double Dragon 2 does that. Oh, the arcade Double Dragons do it as well, I think. Anyway, great. Next one, Rescue of Princess Ovelia. Princess Ovelia, abducted from Orbon Monastery, has been safely rescued. The mastermind behind her abduction was Gelwan, a close official to Gultana and the Queen Ruvelia. Is that who he just killed?
I don't know, man.
Gelwan, I think, is who Delita just killed. Trying to bring her son to the throne, it was the Queen's plan to persuade the minister, but those supporting the Queen strongly deny these allegations. Furthermore, the minister has already been executed.
PersuadeTheMinister.com.
The one who rescued the princess was a young knight named Delita, an assistant black sheep knight under Baron Grimm's. Recognized for his heroism, he is expected to be the next leader of the Black Sheep now that the seat is vacant since the Baron was killed fighting the Ryomoku.
You know, Delita's really doing a good job working himself up the fighter politician man chain.
Yeah, it is true. That's,
you like join like a miserable black sheep troop just so you can take it over once the idiot in charge of it dies.
Now, the first two were pretty much just like recap of some of the things that we've just seen, but this third one I'm very interested to see what it says because it is Draclau's death or Delacroix's death.
Of course, right.
Let's see what the rumors.
What's the official cover-up on that one?
3 months have passed since the death of Draclau due to illness. There are rumors that the leader of Lionel Castle was really assassinated. There is even one rumor that it was a murder by an unidentified monster.
Oh, okay. So the monster that became him ate him.
Yes. To support these theories, there was an attack upon the castle by thieves the night before his death, causing many death.
That's not true. None of my job classes were thieves.
And injury. True. The cause of death was said to be people were crushed to death.
Oh, people were crushed to death was the cause of this one man's death.
What it says.
What a beautiful sentiment.
And finally, drought and flood damage.
Hold on. These make a lot more sense. I know they're called rumors, but if the person in the bar is hammered when they're telling them.
Yeah, that's true. Drought and flood damage. 10 years ago, the kingdom had a terribly bad harvest. Zeltennia and Limbury were devastated by drought, and their harvests were half the norm. On the other hand, Gallion and Fulvaham were devastated by floods. The harvest in the west were about half the norm as well. People left destitute in the war, and people suffering from famine migrated to Lassalia seeking refuge. I don't think that needed to be put in the game.
It's there.
We
know about it now.
If it's in the lore Bible, you don't have to put it in the game. It's fine.
We open in Dorter. You want to go to the mining town of Gollund?
You mean Gollund Coal City?
That's what I said.
Yeah, okay.
Music, Antidote plays.
Mm-hmm.
A guy is running across a roof in a snow-swept town. An angry voice from below is audible. Where is he? Where'd the shuffler steal off to?
The shuffler.
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 Is that an insult?
One who shuffles? I don't think so. I think it's like someone who's like scurrying away.
Okay.
Hear that? He's on the roof. Now a band of surly fuckers exit the nearby doorway, surrounding the gentleman on the roof with their implicit threats of violence. Our ponytailed roof hopper speaks. His name is
Orrin.
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 Orrin. Yeah. Mhm.
He thinks to himself that he's trapped. Orlandeau, Chris, had mentioned an Orrin in the previous scene, like some kind of informant.
Yes.
The Kingfucker, identified as Rogue, summits Orrin's rooftop and addresses him directly. It don't do to have strangers sticking their noses in our little hideaway.
You know what's funny? I think this guy is a mediator job class, and he's speaking with a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
So shouldn't he be a great orator?
I mean, he's still... You can have a job and, still be corrupted by your environment, right?
He lets his gun do the talking.
Yes. Orrin deploys an excellent retort. Then mayhap you might hang a signboard above the door so we would know this place for a den of thieves. The Rogue then laughs. Ha! The coal has got brass.
The coal.
Too bad it's steel he'll be wanting. Chris.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Ye Olde English insults power ranking.
Coal, a selective slaughter of wild animals.
Oh, okay. I was going to try to guess what that was.
Oh, sorry.
Given the context, but I would have been wrong because in the PlayStation version, he says, damn blabbermouth. So my guess was going to be blabbermouth.
Damn you, selective slaughter of wild animals.
Selective slaughter of wild animals. Wow. Okay, let me pull the list up here. Okay, how do you spell this?
C-U-L-L.
C-U-L-L.
See you losers later.
Better than gallant fool. Better than cur.
It's more letters than cur.
What about whelp?
I think it's better than whelp. Whelp to me is like kind of sissified.
I don't think it's better than churl, though. I think it stops at churl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think number 17 is where it will go. We now have 20 insults, Eric. Did you ever think that we make it to 20?
I want to get to 50.
I don't know. We've still got a lot of game left, though. So it could happen. Okay, let's recap here. Gallant fool. Cur. Whelp. Cull. Churl. He soils our name. Dogs my ever move. Clawed. Squealer. Common maid. Wench. Courtesan. Such wretches. Moppets. Whoresons. Whoreson dog. By the way, somebody in the YouTube comments thought I was saying horse and dog.
Horse and dog.
Horse and dog.
Horse and dog.
Lackwitz, vulgar knave, milksop rabble, common footpad, and of course, you've been less than we from the moment your base-born father fell upon your mother in whatever gutter saw you sired.
Ha, the coal's got brass. Too bad it's steel he'll be wanting. But then our dudes roll up. Ramza senses that something is amiss here. The Rogue welcomes more violence. A lot of visitors today. Small matter. Stick 'em all and be done with it.
This is not the first time this has happened, and it is not the last time this happened. But we just keep stumbling upon people that are in need.
Yeah. We're being heroes. It's almost like we're collecting guys for our Rio castle.
Do you think that is a little bit weak in terms of like writing the game?
In a game that, yes, but in a game that doesn't have traditional exploration, there's no other way that I can think of in 1996 or whatever.
I mean, I'm talking about you can come across people, but they always got to be assaulted by thieves.
Hell yeah, because you're immediately put into conflict, which is our primary verb here.
I guess we are in sort of a war-torn country where thievery is probably at an all-time high.
And who's to say he even thieves anything? He's just on the rooftops.
Yeah, why is he up there?
Yeah, objective, protect Orrin, commence.
So, did you notice what his job class is?
Orrin.
No, astrologer.
Oh.
He's got his own unique one, astrologer. The first move, the fucking guy crits him and almost kills him.
Yeah, Orrin to me died in my first two attempts. Like, they just instantly went for him and I could do nothing. Which seems a bit unfair to me, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've said this yet, but I've given a lot of my characters, Ramza included, the ability called Counter Flood. Are you familiar with Counter Flood?
It dams the flood so that your basement the carpet doesn't get fucked up?
You counterattack with geomancy.
Oh, okay.
So you do that, and it works at range. So if you're getting hit by, an arrow or a gun or something, then it works. So it's kind of cool. My guy here has a move. Does he do a move for you? Orlan? Does he do a move?
Celestial stasis, you mean?
Oh, I don't think it's called celestial stasis, Eric. Destiny lies in my hand. Stop movement. Galaxy stop.
Galaxy stop's real stupid.
Yeah, it's really funny. The effect here is like a bunch of space polygons swirl around the entire screen and calls, I think, stop doing this, or slow on various enemies across the board.
It immobilizes and disables a lot of them. It's like a blue magic swirl.
Yeah.
Also, after he does that, he pulls out a double-barrel cannon gun.
Double-barrel cannon gun.
Double barrel cannon gun.
Cool, I did not notice that. Neat.
Oh no, they keep charming my guys and making them do things that I don't like resurrect their guys and then hurt my guys with their resurrected guys.
Oh, wow. So I have I mentioned this before, but I've recently given Lester, my ninja, a quip sword ability from the knight job class, which allows him to dual wield swords, and he kills everybody in one hit now, or 2 hits, but he does them consecutively.
Can I go back in the past and get in on that? That sounds wonderful. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do that. It's great. It's wonderful. You can do a lot of damage. So for me, I did a lot of leveling before this, so this was like a mop-up job for me. I didn't have any issues with this.
I had a lot of issues. Basically, all my guys were charmed except for Ramza, who just kept healing Orrin, who would go buck wild on all of their guys, and he saved the day.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations! This battle is complete. You got 1,500 gil and a battle dictionary.
Battle Dick.
That's what it says on the screen, battle dict. Battle dict!
After the battle, one in which I violently kill everyone yet again, music, Zalbag, the Holy Knight, plays, and Ramza and Orrin chat for a 1v1. Ramza asks Orrin if he's hurt, but my dude is good, he's fine, he eats pieces of shit like this for breakfast.
Yeah.
The pair then make introductions. Orrin's full name is Orlandeau. Is that his name and yours?
Orlandeau, yeah.
Orlandeau.
Yeah.
And Orrin cannot believe that Ramza is a Beolv. He enters the I am shocked and blown away pose.
He does, and is Ramza just volunteering this information now because he was under an assumed name before?
Ramza's pretty stupid.
As your idealism increases, so does your stupidity, I think.
Yeah, as you start to gain a rep, you're like, well, people should know who I am. Ramza's like, what? What does my name matter? Orrin immediately changes the subject and says, 'tis not, forgive me. Might I inquire as to the direction of your travels? So I think Orrin just sensed that Ramza was an idiot and is like, no, we don't got to talk about it.
Yeah, it's good. It's all good.
Ramza tells Orrin he's going to the capital, and he's like, dude, you should come with us. But Orrin can't. He sets a gracious offer, but I fear my road leads away from Lassalia. The two men wish each other fortune as they farewell, and Orrin extends his hand for a shake. Ramza looks down at it twice, dumbfounded, but eventually submits to a shake. Is this Ramza's first ever handshake? Is this a new custom?
He does blink like 4 or 5 times before
he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Weird.
The two men then walk away, but Orrin turns around for some parting words. God's willing, we may meet again. Try to keep yourself alive in the meantime. Ramza tells Orrin he will do the best that he can. Pan up, fade to black. And Chris, I think we're going to see Orrin again, but also, wouldn't it be cool if we didn't?
Are there any games that do that?
Yeah, is there any game where you just show up and meet a guy and then that guy's gone?
Not if the guy has a portrait, no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Next question. Is there an RPG or any game where your band of heroes shows up to help a guy out like Orrin, and whoops, you and your boys just slaughtered the heroes instead of the villains? Like, what if the thieves that were chasing him were in the right?
We were close to that in the first chapter of the game.
With the Corpse Brigade?
With the Corpse Brigade and Wheatgraph and Maluda and all that kind of stuff.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. So, question answered. This game already did it.
Yeah, but I can't think of any others off the top of my head now. The beginning of Final Fantasy IV was kind of like that. When Cecil was a Dark Knight and you were like doing things at the behest of the evil king.
Because you were dark.
Yes. Gafgarion style. All right, well, next time we'll be going to...
Royal City of Lassalia.
Cool, for some more...
Dice Dargan.
Emotional moments.
Real emotion.
With Ramza. But first, let's consult the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
What Final Fantasy 12 songs in the background this time, Chris?
I don't know any of the names of any of the tracks, I'm sorry. Maybe.
Nope, I'm not seeing that title in the track list. Play something else.
How about the Damelsko Westerzand?
Eric Vernon says the V stands for Revival.
V Rising.
Vampire Survivor. Yeah, that's the kind of Vampire Survivor I want. One where I just move a guy around and he just shoots automatically.
They already fucking made that.
I know. I have it. Played it many times. Telltale Heart says Delita is faking it till he's making it.
True. Absolutely. Walk into place and pretend like you're supposed to be there. Execute the least trustworthy noble you see.
Cuddle Puddle says, I'm on a call with Pfizer, but I have this turned down low. John Doe says, tell Pfizer to invest in Magic Rocks.
Yeah, if Pfizer starts selling that for a reasonable price, I think they'll have it's a big market. Untapped.
Eric Verdon says, Delita never being a knight makes it easy to swear on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're not actually swearing on anything.
Shy Guy 32 says, I've always wondered if the Chancellor was actually a traitor or if it was all a setup and Delita just murks someone who seems disposable.
I do think there is a bit of ambiguity there. Like that very well could be. Like Delita could have paid the guy, the prisoner that was there to say all that shit.
John Doe says, I've only heard Mummer's Farce in one other context, and it's another Evilist game. You think maybe it's in Vagrant Story?
I doubt it. I mean, I would assume it's 14, right?
I don't know.
Like, we've talked about it before, but Vagrant Story being set in Evilist was a retcon.
John Doe says the Gondor dude was the steward of Gondor. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. That greasy guy. Eric Van says, cool that they also mentioned starvation and economic devastation is the biggest contributor to the war. War logistics was the biggest drive of who won wars. Eric Van says, Orlandeau, the most experienced and effective soldier, is like warfare fucking sucks. Stop this insanity.
Yeah, war is not glorious. Most experienced soldiers will tell you that.
TG. John Doe says, meanwhile, the rebuttal of Orlando's peers are giving him is like, are you dumb? It's not like we're the ones starving.
Yeah, I think they make that point pretty neatly.
Telltale Heart says, the Mandate of Heaven is a hell of a drug, man. Telltale Heart says, Big Tide is the sophomore album after Big Slurp.
Big Tide like the wave or Big Tide like the detergent?
Big Tide's coming. It's the wave. The wave of history.
Welcome back to the wave of history.
John Doe says, Duke channeling W with this fucking you're with us or against us BS. Eric Van says, the first shop showing up when the aristocracy's power is blown out by the collapse of their society is some excellent in-universe storytelling.
Eventually, you're going to round up poor people to kill in the war.
It's true. That's why so many of them are hanging out with monsters now.
Yeah.
Pork says, honestly, Eric would hate Dancer so much.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't know it was real until today. It would be very funny if you just made up a job class and looked over at your monitor like you were reading stuff off of it. Be a pretty good shape.
Are you going to try to unlock the exclusive ones? Or are we just going to have to read those from the wiki?
What are you talking about? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay, so Shy Guy 32 explains what Mimic Daravon means. You know, the boring stories put people to sleep stuff. Daravon is the guy who gives the tutorials. So Mimic
Oh.
So clever.
Yes, beautiful.
Clever. Eric Vernon says, Argath is still the posthumous king of insults. I keep waiting for Argath to show back up in like a Plague Doctor mask or something, but it's just not happening. Jesse made a meme of the muscle guys doing the arm lock thing.
The muscle? You mean fucking goddamn Dutch? Oh, shit.
Both of these idiots are trying to think of Dutch and Dylan's iconic handshake in Predator.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of their names in the movie. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Anyway, on one bicep it says Kerr.
Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers. Sorry, what?
Oh, okay. On one bicep it says Kerr. On the other bicep it says Horson. And then in the interlocking hands it says Horse and Dogs.
Horse and Dog. Yeah. Kerr Dog.
It's well done. It's a good job.
The muscle guys. I'm ashamed of you.
I don't know things. All right, thank you, Real Ned, for joining us this evening. We'll see you in the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia. This episode was recorded on June 10th, 2024. Thank you, Mark.
The Shepherd.
For the introductory music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Thank you, WorldSend, for the podcast artwork. You can find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. You can also go to patreon.com/RetroAM and get early access to these episodes, bonus episodes, and access to our mini-series covering games such as God Hand or Parasite Eve or even Terranigma. You can email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com. Until next time, Eric.
If you want to learn what happens when we say screaming hole, listen to that Terranigma podcast series, please.
And now you may go back to a screaming hole. Well, this is the internet. Welcome to the internet. This is my internet voice. I have voicemail on my internet. Hello, Eric. Speaking to the microphone.
Hey, I spent about an hour and a half updating my Jaguar GD flashcard firmware today.
Oh.
Jaguar flashcard, of course, plays every Jaguar game, but except one, World Tour Racing. It's a Jaguar CD game I had never played, and the new update allowed it to actually be played on the flashcard.
Oh.
So it's this game I've been wanting to play for, let's say, 3 to 5 years. Like, what's it going to fucking be like? And it's the shittiest virtual racing you can imagine. And I played it for about 3.5 minutes, then turned it off.
Well, at least you accomplished your mission.
Yeah, now I know what World Tour Racing is like. Do you know what playing that it's like? No, you don't.
I sure don't. I do not know what World Tour Racing is. I do, however, know what Parsec for the TI 99/4A is like.
Oh, yeah, Parsec. That's the thing where you can play video games with your friends online.
Yeah, that is that thing, but that's not what I'm referring to. So anyway.
Your calculator games. Do you think if Ted Woolsey had stretched into the PlayStation 1 era, things could have been different?
Yeah, I'm sure there is some sort of article that can be written about like what happened in between basically Woozley and Honeywood.
Woolsey, please start saying Woolsey.
Woolsey. I can't.
I know.
I can't do it. Can't do it. It's no good.
Respect the man.
I need to. How do you spell that?
Woolsey.
Okay, see if I see it. Yes, there you go. Okay, thank you. There's an L there. I can say it now because now I can see it, so I can say it.
I mean, anyway, he was probably driven insane by those Super Nintendo localizations anyway, which is why he got the hell out of there, I assume. With like a...
The cause of death was said to be people... Is that your until next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my question. In any RPG or any game where your band of heroes shows up to help a guy out like this and whoops, you and your boy...
Orlando, or are we saying Orlando or Orlando?
Whatever you want. It's podcast tradition to pronounce it 9 different ways.
Okay. Orlando. Oriental.
Until next time.
Play